All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. We had one break-even trade, and then we had one winner. I have the executions in the Discord. I have to post them for the break-even still, but I'll get to that later. But before we get into it, guys, again, if you guys need any accounts with Alpha, code LukeX to get you the best discount. Link for the Discord is in the pinned comment. We have daily pre-market analysis and all that stuff. So everything's in there. Go check that out, and we'll get right into this. So coming into the day today, I had a higher time frame bullish bias, but I wanted to see price rebalance into these gaps because we had a super extended push to the upside. Coming into market open, we had already swept out previous day high. So I was looking at either a continuation towards these next draws, but if we showed clear shift into bearish order flow, I want to see this 4-hour gap get rebalanced that formed at 10 a.m. or this 1-hour gap get rebalanced. That was what I was looking at going into market open. So market opens up right here, and we get this initial push down, and then we end up, I think we reacted off a 15-minute, this 15-minute gap right here. I was kind of looking at continuations lower at this point, but then we started to break back to the upside, and we ended up taking out this high right here. We actually got an SMT. So from this high to this high, we put in a higher high. If we look at ES, we had a lower high, so therefore we had a bearish SMT. And I just seen us starting to shift down, and I wanted to see price come down into that 1-hour, 4-hour gap, whatever. So I was looking at this right here, but I seen the momentum start to pick up, and I ended up entering off of the 30-second inversion. I don't remember my exact entry. I have to double check. But anyway, I got in somewhere in and around here. I ran stops like around the, I ran them at this high, like above these candles right here. And I went break even at this low right here, which was just about like a 1 hour. But again, I wanted to see price flood into that 1 hour imbalance, which was like right here. That's what I was mainly targeting. So again, I went break even here. I was hoping price was going to flush and continue to flush lower, but we ended up getting stopped out break even on this push right here. I had my stop like, I think it was right about here. But anyway, yeah, we had this SMT off the highs. We got this 30-second inversion. Again, ideally, you'd wait for that 1 minute, but I see the momentum starting to kick in. I have to just double check the exact entry, but break even at these internal lows right here. And then it didn't end up hitting TP. We ended up getting stopped out break even. From there, we literally just chopped around from 10 o'clock all the way till 10:30. And then we had this manipulation up, and we ended up getting another SMT. So we took these internal highs out right here, and as you can see, NQ puts in a lower high, ES higher high, so ES higher high, and at this point I was looking for an inversion again because we had now put in equal lows. As you can see right here, we had these two equal lows, and we still had that newly formed 4-hour gap down here that I wanted to see get rebalanced. So I was looking at an inversion, and the highest time frame inversion here was this 3-minute. If you guys could see this, it's a very small 3-minute. We also had this 2-minute, so I wanted to ideally wait for that. But what ended up happening was we got this strong 1-minute inversion right here. So I ended up just pulling the trigger and entering off this because I seen the momentum kicking in, and I just didn't want to see price leave without me. And I took the risk on that. Yeah, again, like I said, normally I'd wait for the 3-minute or the 2-minute to inverse, but in this case, just based on discretion, we had an SMT off the highs, relative equal lows below, 4-hour gap that I wanted to see get taken out like the whole morning session. So I just entered off that candle at 10:42, stops at the high, and I went break even after we took the equal lows out right there. And my idea was to obviously target in the 4-hour gap or potentially CE. But after we started to edge, I ended up just closing. I have to double check my exact exit, but it was around 8:17. So we ended up catching like about 1.9 or 2R. So not a bad trade. Again, first trade, both pretty much the same idea. SMT, inversion, displacement. We had the draw lower at that higher time frame gap. This one just went break even. This one, again, SMT off the highs. We got this 1-minute inversion. Again, ideally I'd wait for the 3 or the 2-minute, but we end up taking the 1-minute inversion, and I went break even at these internal lows, and I just held down to the 4-hour, and I just closed as it started to reject. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Pretty shitty if you do look back here, like it just looks horrible, but it is what it is. $1,100. I ended up just taking this on one account just because I don't know, I didn't like how price was moving, and this was later in the session. Normally I was gonna avoid it, but then I kind of just seen this pop up, and I just decided to just take it on one account. So happy with that. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.